I remember Granby in the 80s. I was very young, but I remember there was bakeries, there was a fruit and veg. There was a hell of a lot more shops and stuff.
From the early 90s onwards, the area was emptying out. I've never felt so disempowered. I never felt so out of control, out of my own life.
You just want Granby back to the old Granby.
When these houses were scheduled for demolition, what the council does is strip out everything inside, so it's just the shell. And once they've done that, they put a big sticker on the door which says nothing of value. And there's something about that whole process which is truly enraging, because it's systematically taken away what has value, families, history, and then stamps it as worthless.
You see, we were powerless in the great machinery, and you think, this is just shit. This is not the way you treat people. A city doesn't have to just guzzle everything up and give nothing back. It was Eleanor who started cleaning and planting and painting, and then everybody else said, what you're doing, and then we started doing it as well.
We cleared the voids. We painted the bricked up fronts of the houses. We shoveled up rubbish by the ton, swept the streets, planted climbers, we planted fruit and veg, we planted runner beams in front of all the empty houses.
And took over, really, the running of the street and made it ours.
Creativity is always part of anything revolutionary, if you like. It always is, because it goes back to basics. You'll always find creativity where there's, nothing.
So many things have grown out of the fact that we started to plant in the streets. The idea for the Winter Garden really came from the initial plans that Assemble presented to us for how we could renovate houses. So from an ordinary terrace front door, you will walk in and there will be a tree and grass and plants and light and running water and really a beautiful space. It's like a cathedral. I just love it.
When the Winter Garden trees arrived, I really felt extremely excited.
It was just really, couldn't believe it really, because I'd been talking about it for months and months. It was like watching someone coming back from a long trip and welcoming them back into the Winter Garden.
And the warmth, the energy that trees really convey, that came in with the trees. Just to have the people in the street really happy, it was exciting.
And having them planted in place, it was like, okay, you're home now, you're safe, you're all right. And it was such a lovely feeling to have, and everybody watching and kind of smiling and happy to see that, you know, what had been achieved.
It's a resource for the people who live here. It's purely the only reason for doing it. A place for people to meet, to socialise, to plan, to plot, to do small workshops, to do creative work. Just is such a large-scale symbol of the planting that we've done and how long the impact of what we've done will last, and it's just beautiful.
So for me, this is the ripple effect. There's nothing more beautiful than that, because that means you're alive, your community's alive.
Liverpool's on a pause, it looks out and it welcomes people in. And so that is the history of Liverpool, and that is the history of these areas, is that this Granby and Toxteth were areas that said, yeah, we like you, come here. We don't want a tolerant community because that wants to be tolerated. People need to be welcome, people need to know that they are part of this community and their bit is as important as everybody else's bit, and that their life is as important as everybody else's life.
And Granby Street, ever since I was a child, that's how it's always been. Even if your mum was in work late, you could knock at your next door neighbours and you wait to see you be fed, bathed and put in bed. Because that's what a community is about, isn't it? Just helping each other out and just, you know, being there for one another.